We also have with us Mr. Remi Pell, Chairman of the Cambodia Association of Finance and Technology, to actually give us his view on the private to public sector cooperation toward Cambodia digital government development, how your association can reach out to the region and to the world to help Cambodia to be more digitized and for the government to achieve her digital goal. Please, Mr. Remi, thank you.
Thank you, Excellency Moderator. I'd like to start off with acknowledging my respects to His Excellency Minister Chivandet, Minister of Post and Telecommunications. Additionally, respects to His Excellency Sokputivut, Secretary of State of Ministry of Post and Telecommunications. Also, Madam Pauline Temesis, UN Resident Coordinator. Likewise, His Excellency Dr. Kung Marie, Undersecretary of State, Ministry of Economy and Finance, and Secretary General of the Digital Economy and Business Committee. Excellencies, fellow panelists, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I, Remi Pell, am truly honored today to be invited as the chairman of the Cambodian Association of Finance and Technology to share about our association with respects to the private-public partnership initiatives as it pertains to achieving the strategic goals of the Royal Government of Cambodia in the framework of Digital Government Policy 2022 through 2035. My remarks will be kept simple and will focus on who we are, what we've been doing, and what we plan to do, as today's program has been very heavy since the morning, and our last session is keeping the audience from their evening activities. Nonetheless, I'm certain that it would be the most rememberable and provide some key takeaways. Thank you for next slide. So now, as the formalities are out of the way, our association, the Cambodian Association of Finance and Technology, seeks to cultivate interest and technical skills to promote increased innovation, financial inclusion, diversity, and collaboration of all tech segments by serving as the collective voice in providing relevant and expert source information to regulators and the private sector. CAF advocates for effective and future-focused measures to ensure prosperity across all industries. We are fully recognized and registered by the Ministry of Interior, and we are championed by the National Bank of Cambodia. Next slide, please. What makes us CAF? More specifically, what is the Cambodian Association of Finance and Technology? I'm not talking about the organizational structure that embodies by the bylaws or the association, the categories of membership or standing committees, but what is CAF's strategic objectives? As the name implies, C is for collaboration, A is for advocacy, F is for facilitation, and T is for teaching. These are the strategic objectives that our association have conceived to give us guidance on how we address the challenges that we face as the industry. There are a number of broad challenges, and I'd like to briefly mention them. These are not ordered in any particular order of importance, but firstly, the need to expand the tech talent pool and create opportunities for upskilling, to create education of developing innovation skills for implementation and utilization. 3, increase this SME digitization and adoption. And 4, the financial literacy and financial inclusion. These are the challenges that make up who we are as an association, and it is our mission to address them and to make progress. Next slide, please. A bit about our timeline. We were established towards the second half of 2019, and we were established by 6 strategic partners, namely Asia Way Lui, Bong Lui, Dara Pay, IP88, Li Hua Pay Pro, and Pi Pay. And in 2020, some of the key highlights, we merged with the Cambodian FinTech Association, CFA, and became a council member of the Association of Banks of Cambodia, ABC. During this time, you can recall that COVID was gaining momentum. which required us to be more innovative in finding ways to meet and to conduct our activities. This was the first year of working with the Singapore FinTech Festival and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, along with NBC, ABC, and CMA to make the festival 100% online. In 2021, we held our first annual general meeting and created the East Asian Tech Committee to cater to the membership of East Asian countries, as well as our second attempt of CamTech, which proved to be a big success. Looking forward to 2022, we have some exciting partnerships to announce with Global 500 Global and MPTC, which I'll elaborate more a little bit later. Next slide, please. I just want to take a quick second to highlight our diverse board of directors, as they are representative and expert of their own domain in their representative industries. I believe that having such a diverse board allows our association not to be inclusive, but to have direct insight on how to make more impactful decisions affecting our membership and the industry. Next slide, please. A mention about our membership, which is roughly about 30, spanning from sectors of banking and finance, ICT, social enterprises, and law, as well as our 10 partners, which are local and international. Next slide, please. As mentioned earlier, some notable events of 2021 was our AGM, and as well as the launching of the Asian FinTech Association Roundtable with 8 countries participating, namely Hong Kong, Vietnam, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. We are hopeful to expand this roundtable to include more countries this year. CAF believes in diversity and inclusion, as many of the membership is made up of women, with them being leaders in their respective organizations, holding C-level positions. Our Women Series highlights this fact, as well as our participation in the China-Singapore Financial Summit back in November 2021. We had an opportunity to showcase Cambodia's vibrant fintech landscape during this online summit. Next, CAF is working closely with Digital Startup as well as Khmer Enterprises on projects addressing startup ecosystem. Next slide, please. CAF's annual marquee event, the collaboration with the Singapore FinTech Festival and our local extension of that event, we call CamTech, was a big success for the association and its partners. During this week-long event, we had a total of 88 speakers from local to international, with 20 sponsors, and with Prudential Life being the flagship sponsor. The coverage had global reach, with 44% of the coverage reaching the shores of the US. This was a result from our international media partner, PR Newswire. CamTech has given reason to the regional and international community to take notice of the vibrant tech ecosystem of Cambodia. Next slide, please. As we plan forward for 2022, our CamTech event this year will have a chance to add an offline element, meaning physical, face-to-face, depending on the COVID situation. We'll continue to broadcast online, and we'll try our best to reach even a wider audience through our various partnerships. This year, we're extremely excited to look forward to working with the National Bank of Cambodia, as well as to start to implement our key MOU for our association that we just signed with the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications. Next slide, please. I'm happy to announce that we are also in partnership with 500 Global. 500 is an early stage venture fund and seed accelerator, founded back in 2010, based in Mountain View, California. In Cambodia, 500 will focus on 4 core programs. First being team formation, which is designed to help future founders network and develop dynamic teams. Second, the business activation program is to develop and test initial products and business models. Third is the Global Accelerators Program, which is designed to sharpen founder skills in international growth, capital, and investor engagement. And lastly, international showcases is to receive coaching from key industry stakeholders and commercial partners. As of February 2021, 500 Global has invested in over 2,400 companies. You might be, some notable ones are Canva, Udemy, RidePal, and Aircall. I feel this partnership will assist Cambodia in reaching its development goal of the digital framework. And because 500 Global is considered first in its class of startup incubation and acceleration. Next slide, please. We've arrived at why we are here today, specifically this session. The Royal Government of Cambodia, through its technical implementer, the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunication, and its policy of the Digital Government 2022 through 2035, has a precise strategy to have private and public sector engagement. This partnership is vital and necessary because the respective sectors cannot effectively address the challenges alone or siloed. That would go against the essence of technology and its interconnectedness. Therefore, please allow me to share the broad cooperation areas in our MOU. The first being setup and information exchange. The information will be non-proprietary, but it will be related to the fintech industry. Second, policy development. CAF will provide technical consulting and input on fintech industry in Cambodia and share best practices from the regional and international partners. Three, talent development. CAF would enhance the existing internship program of the Cambodia Academy of Digital Technology, especially for fintech startups. Four, public promotion. CAF and MPTC look to co-organize digital technology exhibitions such as Camtech. Five, knowledge sharing. This mechanism is where working groups will be set up to meet on a quarterly basis. And lastly, outreach campaigns, where CAF is the partner to educate the public of MPTC's initiatives and cooperation. In closing, I'd like to sincerely thank His Excellency Minister Chia Van Dijk, Minister of Posts and Telecommunication, and His Excellency Sokhputivut, Secretary of State of MPTC, all of the team members involved in making this collective dream of an MOU a reality. CAF looks forward to effectively implementing our MOU for the betterment of Cambodia's digital government policy.